What is up, T fam? We are continuing with messy action because for those of you who are not watching, this is my first recorded podcast episode. So hello. If you are not watching and you prefer to watch, head over to my YouTube channel, Tina Wildin Fitness, to watch it. I've been kind of uploading stuff back and forth. Like I've been uploading the audio of things and it just wasn't what I wanted. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna see. We're experimenting. I have like 100 some episodes, so I don't want to really backlog them unless I hired an assistant. So maybe one day, right? We're just gonna start where we're at. So okay, today's episode, we are spilling the tea on Optavia. It is an MLM. I felt like I needed to record this podcast episode because I've been seeing it pop up more and more. It's the same MLM scam, just a different day. It's rebranded with some, they put their pretty logos and their happy smiling people, and it's all secretive and looks amazing and looks like a miracle cure. And we're gonna review everything that's wrong with Optavia, and it is horrible. I am sorry if you've been a victim. We'll chat about that, okay? So before we get started too, I wanted to give you a little update. I give you guys personal updates for sure. So this weekend we went to the PA Farm Show. So I'm pretty close to the PA Farm Show now. I'm like 2 hours out. It is in Harrisburg, the capital of Pennsylvania. It was fun. It was in this really big complex. I actually did a mini vlog on it on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, just kind of walking through. There was a ton of cows, rabbits, goats. I didn't see any pigs. They had amazing milkshakes. I heard it was 100% worth the milkshakes, and it was, oh my god, so good. We got vanilla, and yeah, we just kind of walked around and had fun. From there, since we were kind of close to Hershey, we actually got tickets to the Hershey Bears game. I am a newfound lover of minor league baseball and minor league hockey. We have 3 minor league hockey teams near us: the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins, the Hershey Bears, and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So I'm very excited about that. The game was great. It was packed. The stadium could hold like 10,000 people, and I think there was like 9,000 something. So it was a nearly sold out game. Super fun. They ended up losing. It's okay. It was still fun. In between, because we had some time to kill before the game, because it was like a 7 p.m. game, we hit up Lowe's. This is my thing. I love going to Lowe's. And I love my plants. I actually did a podcast about how to be a houseplant mom or daddy. Go back and check that for sure. Has a ton of tips. But we hit up Lowe's. They had an amazing discount plant section, okay? So I picked up a philodendron, the kind that's like mixed with a monstera. I don't know the exact name for it, but they have like the long, I don't know how to, like wiggly looking leaves, and I've been wanting it for so long, and it came in this super cool pot. It was way overwatered, so it was my job and duty to save it. I picked up another random plant just because it was cheap, also came in a cute pot. We'll see, Then they had a spin mop. I have been on the hunt for a spin mop because my floors are gross. I don't have central air. They're old floors, so I try to keep them clean, and the Swiffer's just not cutting it for me. Like, it's a good touch-up thing, but I needed like a mop. So what I did, I finally got my hands on a spin mop because I use it at work and I really like it. I just literally put in like a cap of vinegar, white vinegar, and literally a little squirt of Dawn dish soap. Voila, it is natural. It is good for the animals in your house or babies. It's not chemically. It's good. And the water was satisfyingly like grayish, tannish brown, but not too bad. But it was bad enough for the fact that we like clean the whole house. Okay, so I was very happy about that. And then I pretty much tended to all of my 100 plants, potted them, aerated the soil, watered them, gave them some TLC, got a workout in, and that took up my whole Sunday. So it was a busy weekend, productive weekend, super happy about it. Starting the new year off great. Also want to mention, over in my Facebook group, Busy Women Fitness Driven, and on my email list, either or, if you don't have Facebook, you can hop on the email list. Sign up for my 7-day reset. I'm starting the challenge as of today, which is Monday. Sorry, I'm going to be getting this podcast episode a little bit later in the day because I'm recording the day of, but I just started the 7-day reset challenge, and it'll be up there so like you can use it whenever, but definitely hop in because it's gonna be 5 full days of workouts, but each day I'm gonna be focusing on a habit. And like, I am not holding back, guys. I am giving you core workouts, a full warm-up, and a full gym workout or home workout complete with demo videos for you. Like, if you want to see what it's like to train with me in my app, this is a perfect taste of that. This is like essentially the workouts without the app access and access to me and all the fun nutrition features, but it's a great way, I figured, fun way to get everybody involved. Today's habit is to drink water, and I'm drinking my water right now. Put a little bit of lemon in there. It's 64 ounces, which I'm probably at like 32 ounces right now, so we're getting there. But it's fun. So definitely join Busy Women Fitness Driven. So it's Busy Women, Fitness Driven for the Facebook group. Or you can join my email list, which you can get a freebie on my website. If you just go to TinaWinelandFitness.com, you sign up for the Busy Girl Workout Guide, that puts you on my email list. So I'll be sending that email out with a link to the 7-day reset master document in a bit. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm going to be updating it each day with, you know, your new workout, your new habit, all that stuff. So it's really exciting. Thank you for participating. Okay. And now we're going to dive into the actual episode. So, okay. I have a hatred for MLMs because I experienced one. If you scroll all the way back to like episode 2 of the Tea with Tina podcast, I share my personal MLM experience with the company Advocare. So I'm going to start off because I don't want anybody to be triggered. I want to start off by saying that I don't hate the people who participate in MLMs, at least knowingly, right? Because I get it. The people who have done MLMs, because I've been in your shoes, you've tried multiple things and you're literally just frustrated and you're feeling desperate, and that's what these companies prey on. You know, you've tried everything, you know, maybe you had bad stuff come your way. For whatever reason, you cannot get the weight off, you cannot do what you need to do. And the reason I'm focusing on weight loss mainly is that's what these companies are geared towards. I know you have probably other goals. Sometimes they'll maybe try to attack like, oh, optimize your hormones and things like that. But mainly it's weight loss. So, you know, you're frustrated and it's hard and you're really at the point where you're willing to try anything that's going to give you results. And the way these companies market, a lot of it's based around like groups and coming together and like just that relationship aspect of things. And I think that's what gets a lot of people, because the people in these groups that aren't working directly for the company, right? They might just be a coach or a seller, your upline, whatever, your leader, and they're kind of brainwashed and they're really passionate and they want to help you and they give you that friend aspect and they go to groups and you hop on calls and they're so nice. And maybe nobody has been nice in your life recently. Maybe you have nobody and this group is your only thing. And I really think that's the number one thing that gets people, is the group, because that's what got me. I was fresh out of high school and I wanted to get into health and fitness, and Advocare seemed like the perfect route in. Like, it seemed so inviting. Everybody was so positive. Everybody was so uplifting. And yeah, it was kind of fake. It was kind of snaky. I did not like it. But basically, these companies take advantage of you with their marketing and all the other things that we're going to chat about. So, one more thing I wanted to take note about with the MLM of Advocare. After leaving the company, which was kind of hard, I literally got mail from them years later saying that they were legitimately sued for being a pyramid scheme, and if you made X amount of money, you know, you were gonna get this payout from them because they scammed you essentially. And they were saying that basically, like, when you're a seller, you have an upline, and this upline has an upline, and that's why it's a pyramid scheme. And the people that are higher up actually make money off of you. And that's why they were being sued, because this person up here is making way more money off of you selling products for doing literally nothing. So that's fucked up. Excuse my language, but that's fucked up. And they leverage these predatory tactics like being a part of the group, which was a big one for me, that community aspect. A lot of my friends were in the group. I made friends in the group, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that kind of keeps you in it. And also, I don't know about other ones, but Advocare in particular leveraged religion. And my religious views were kind of tattered out on the fence at that point. I was trying a lot of different churches, trying to find my spot in spirituality, spot in Christianity. I was raised Roman Catholic, so I was kind of, teetering with things. When I went to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium for their event, their 3-day event, which I paid money out of my pocket, which I cashed in some of my bonds that were given to me when I was a baby just to be able to afford the plane ride because I was essentially forced to go down there. They actually had a church service on Sunday morning, which I thought was kind of weird. Not at the time, but looking back, they had a church service. One of the guys who was the co-creator of creating this company actually owned a mega church, and I went to it, and there was like people convulsing whatever on the ground because they were being saved and whatever. Wild. I went there. Again, if you want more details, you can listen to episode 2 of the Tea with Tina podcast. But I just wanted to give you some background because it was disgusting and it just wasn't right. But don't get me wrong. Some of these products were good that they sold. Aside from all that crap, the products necessarily weren't bad. Here's the thing. These products were no different, no better than the ones that you can find elsewhere at a fraction of the cost. The reason they upcharge these is because they got to give that money to the sellers, right? Because we get a commission, we get a kickback, and that's why it's not wholesale. So it's stupid. It's stupid. And overall, it was just really cult-like. The ideology of it, overpriced, and it was sleazy. Okay, and that's kind of everything about Optavia. So let's get into the whole Optavia thing. So my awareness, I didn't even really know that this company existed. I think I've heard of the name before, but I didn't really know what it was. So I actually had a previous client of mine, an online training client of mine, who I think was on this diet with some further digging. When I talked to her, she was really protective about what she was doing. I knew she was on this diet that made her lose a lot of weight. And you can kind of tell when someone's a part of an MLM because she would make those posts on social media that are very vague, like, oh my God, I lost X amount of pounds. I'm feeling so great. Message me for more info. And I'm like, I've been there. I've done that. So, I kind of knew she was on something, but I didn't know what it was. But after some further digging, I kind of came to the conclusion that it's Optavia. The number one red flag is that you're being protective about it. Like that you're not openly announcing what it is. Like, why aren't you announcing what it is? Why are you creating this false, build up suspicion of what it is? I guess you want people to ask, but at the same time, it's like, are you embarrassed to say what you're doing? I don't know. And let me also preface that I have nothing wrong with this woman. This woman was amazing as a client. She's a rock star. She's super sweet. And basically I was asking her, the only reason I asked her about her nutrition was because when she was doing workouts with me, I like to know what my clients are doing. I want to see as much information as possible. Like, how much are you eating? Are you under the supervision of a nutritionist? Like, you have your diet part covered so I can accurately give you training, right? And we can see more of the whole picture. So that's how I got that information. And at one point, she actually discontinued training with me because working out was not advised. She claimed that her doctor said working out was not advised. And maybe her doctor prescribed her this, which is actually even worse. But, yeah, so I was like, okay, red flag. Like, her calories were so low that she was advised to not work out because she would not have enough energy. Ideally, if you're on a consistent workout program, you would think that, like, hey, I can eat more because I'm going to be burning like 300 calories. So, like, let me eat some more, like at least 300 calories so I can work out. Like, that's great. I get to eat more food because I'm working out. But now it's like, no, you can't work out because your calories are so low. Not a good mindset to have. Now, another thing that kind of gets to me with this, some immediate thoughts, is like, what if Optavia went out of business? What would you do? Okay, seriously, what would you do if Optavia went out of business today? All their products disappeared off the shelves. Could you maintain your progress? Or would you like what would you do? Would you feel lost? Like, do you have something to compare it to? Like, would you be able to make your own meals to kind of like, or follow the guidelines they taught you? Probably not. That's not good. If you have to rely on a product to live and keep results, not good, because it's not sustainable. These are intense tactics that, I mean, you're going to be starving one day and then you're going to binge eat. You're highly likely to binge eat, or it's going to mess up your mind. You're going to have this weird food relationship. There's just so many things. And here's the thing. I'm all for supplements. I use Legion supplements. They're honestly the best supplements out there. But I mean, if they were gone, it would suck. But I mean, I could still get my nutrients through everyday dieting, everyday eating. It's harder, yes, in today's society because foods are a lot more processed. There's not enough nutrients in the soil as there was like 100 years ago. So you're not getting as much nutrients out of the foods as you may have in the past, but it's doable. So I'm all for supplements. I'm all for fun little things. Like, you want your energy drinks, you want pre-workout, maybe you want like a sweat wrap. Like, even those are kind of borderline, but like they're not ultimately going to harm you, especially if you know that that's not going to be like the number one contributing factor in your progress. But maybe you want just a little mindset boost, workout clothes, water bottles, whatever it is. I'm for that stuff. You can have fun, but as long as you go into it knowing that ultimately 99% of your progress is going to be coming from eating a whole nutrient dense diet made from fruits, vegetables, meat if you choose to eat meat, just whole nutrient dense foods, and movement. And I'm not even saying you have to lift in the gym, just movement and, you know, stress reduction and good recovery. Those are the main factors. What did we do when all this didn't exist, right? So yeah. Now, let's see here. I'm going to tell you some of the things that Optavia does that I do not like. Sorry, I need a little water break. Okay, so 1, they slash calories like crazy. And like I said before, so much that they don't recommend that you work out. They claim that you don't need to work out. Okay, listen. I would argue that nutrition is more powerful than working out, okay? But here's the thing. From a professional fitness coach who has been doing this for over, like 6-7 years now. 7 years? Yeah, because it's 2023. I got certified in 2016. 7 years. Nutrition definitely, I think, helps you lose the weight faster than if you were to just do workout alone and not focus on your diet. And it helps you feel good, and you know, you close nutrient gaps. But here's the thing. Workouts are needed. They help strengthen our muscles. They help prevent against osteoporosis because we're putting stress on the bones, which makes our bones stronger with those weight-bearing exercises. They help with flexibility because we're moving our body. They help with muscular imbalances, so they make our muscles, if we have a good training program, it makes sure all of our muscles are balanced and we're training properly. So we don't have any muscular imbalances. We're less likely to get injuries. We're less likely to pull a muscle randomly one day. There are so many benefits to working out. It's good as a stress reliever, anxiety reliever, depression reliever. They help us sleep better. There's just so much with working out. So nutrition is fantastic, 100%. A diet is fantastic, 100%. But you need both. We need good eating and we need movement. They work together. You cannot have one without the other. And another red flag is that it's so black and white. Like, there is no black and white in this world. Everything is gray. Okay, what works for one person is not going to work for the other person. Even if you have 2 twins, identical twins, sometimes what works for one may not work for the other. They've done studies on this. So red flag number 1. Here's another thing. All of their products are packaged food. What is up with that? It's kind of like Jenny Craig, I guess. Like, you spend so much money, so many $100s on like literally packaged food, and that's all you can eat. I'm sure there's probably some guidelines. I didn't look into it. They kind of gatekeep their information, to be honest, unless you're a part of it. So I'm sure there's probably some stuff like, oh, you can eat fruits and vegetables, kind of like Weight Watchers too. Like they have their 0-point food. You can eat this and that. So I'm sure there's probably some food you can eat outside of it. And there's people that probably they can't afford it to eat like all the time. Maybe they can only eat 2 meals a day as opposed to like all 3. So they sub with their own. But still, everything's prepackaged. So it's probably highly processed. You know how those diet foods can get. I personally have been making the switch to try to do I love that a lot of companies have been coming out with more naturally sweetened, naturally flavored, organic, sustainable options for things. So I've been trying to go that route because a lot of the OG, if you look back 10 years ago, the diet foods are loaded with chemicals and kind of just fake empty things. Not saying it's bad, you're not going to get cancer or anything, but a lot of times you get indigestion, and long term it's not good for your body. You're going to have these nutrient deficiencies from consuming that all the time. And this is kind of what it seems like to me. So you're only eating their meals, coming from a box, pretty much like a TV dinner, right? Who knows what the heck is in it? Okay. Now, they warn you that their diet is extreme and may cause long-term health issues. Okay, I literally looked it up on their site. They mentioned side effects like gallstones, hair loss. I even saw that they have a kids program, Optavia Kids, for 13 to 17. No, that's bad. If anything, you should be supervised by a medical professional. If there's a kid who's overweight, they need to have a different approach. You have to be careful with how you approach it. It's not going to be the same as adults, because I could do a whole nother podcast episode on that. With kids, their mentality is different. You almost have to make it a game where they're not realizing that they're dieting, because they're sensitive, their brains are still developing. You don't want them to grow up and have this fear mindset around foods, because that's really hard to undo. So I do not like that at all. Another thing, red flag, they don't teach you sustainable long-term habits, okay? That's a red flag. They don't want you to have long-term habits because they want you to stick with them forever and spend their money. Here's the thing, and this is even with coaches. There's some crappy coaches out there. Me as a coach, in person and online, I want you to be able to move on from me, okay? If anybody stays with me, it's because they love me. They love my energy. They love the programs I program. Like me, I'm a fitness trainer. I'm perfectly capable of making my own programs. I'm perfectly capable of doing my own meal plans, whatever it is. But sometimes I buy people's programs, I buy other stuff. I've hired coaches before because I need the accountability, or I just love that energy of trying somebody else's program, the group aspect of it. It just keeps me motivated. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to be able to give you the tools to say, hey, go off on your own, make your workouts. I have so many clients who are Tina, I made my own workout because, I wasn't able to get your workout, so I did my own at home. And it was awesome. I want to give you the tools. I want to give you the tools to know what to do when you're going out to eat and how to stick to your goals, or, just anything. I'm not gatekeeping you. And so that's a red flag. You don't, I give you the long-term habits to succeed. If a program doesn't, that's kind of scary. That's really cringy. So again, we come back to this idea of what happens when you stop doing Optavia. Probably what happens when everybody stops doing these trendy diets is what happens? They don't know what to do. They panic. They go back to their eating habits, and they are ballooning back up, probably gaining more weight than they did before, and they feel defeated and let down, and they'll probably just start the cycle over again. Well, here's the thing too. Here's another question. If a program, which I doubt any MLM out there does have, if there was a program that could ease you back into normal eating, okay, I would give that MLM a little bit more respect. So let's say, okay, after you're done with our program, here's how you can ease into normal eating, a kind of draw us off, almost like drugs. That's terrible. I would appreciate it a little bit more, but they don't care. They literally just want your money. Honestly, they do. And even my clients, after they're done paying me, I still check up on them. I've given out free stuff before. I've helped them. And that's just being a good human, being a good person. It's not all about money. It really isn't. But these companies are all about money. Okay, next thing. So they urge you to become a coach. And what that means is push their products. When you're a coach, you're selling their products. You probably get some sort of commission off of it, some sort of kickback. I don't know if they have uplines or anything. It's probably, I don't know if they've gotten around the, legalities of a pyramid scheme. But yeah, they urge you to sign up and become a coach. You probably get a discount on their products, I'm assuming also, because you're a direct buyer, right? So that's something. But also, I hate the label of coach. Like, there's a lot of coaches out there. You can get like a weekend certification and be like, I'm a wellness coach. I personally like the term coach because it's an all-encompassing term. I kind of like to call myself a coach. I interchange it with fitness trainer, personal trainer, whatever, but I feel like there's some negative connotations with personal trainer or fitness trainer. You kind of think like, oh, they're like a drill sergeant, or maybe they just do fitness, but I'm not just a fitness trainer. I am a coach because I am all encompassing. I will teach nutrition within my scope of practice. I teach habit building. I teach about recovery, optimizing hormones, sleep recovery, and workouts. That's kind of why I use the term coach, like an online fitness coach. But them being a coach, that's very misleading. They have no right to be a coach. They are literally a distributor, a seller, an educator, maybe you could say an Optavia educator, but not a coach, okay? Here's another thing, red flag. They warn people that they won't feel good for a while on the diet. What? Like, what? Like, that's kind of like keto. Keto has its place for some people. I'm not completely opposed to keto, but it's one of those things that there's a right and wrong way to do it. Keto, you get like the keto flu, you kind of feel crappy for a while. There is at least some science behind why that happens, but the fact that they're not feeling good for a while is probably because they're eating like 1,000 calories and they feel like garbage and their body's like, we need more food and we have no nutrients. You're pumping us full of processed junk. Here's the thing, when I coach my clients, I say the exact opposite. I say, we're gonna feel great right away because I'm giving you the things to nourish your body and fuel your body. You're gonna start to have more energy. You're gonna sleep better. You're just gonna feel better overall. So, no, don't like this idea. And then like to go along with that, they don't focus on nutrient density or healthy behavior change. And honestly, these are the two big things to truly be successful long term. It's no hidden secret, but these are really the things. And that's exactly what I teach my clients. So nutrient density, we'll dive into that a little bit more. Nutrient density is essentially like, if it fits your macros. Way back when it was like, oh, I can eat 5 donuts and a Pop-Tart and I still hit my calorie goals. That's cool, but ultimately, or like I can eat McDonald's and still lose weight. Yes, that's calories in, calories out. But if we did some blood work on maybe your mineral levels, your micronutrient levels, like what would they look like? Would you be low on things? Would you be deficient on things? Probably. So like you would lose weight, but you'd probably not feel your best, right? So nutrient density, we're focusing on like 80% of the time, you're going to be eating your vegetables and fruits that are jam-packed with nutrients and vitamins and your essential things that you need, maybe fish, whole grains, not the crappy processed stuff, because we're going to get more bang for our buck. And then the other 20% when you do want to enjoy like chocolate or going out to eat with your friend or family or a party, that's when you can eat those things. Okay, that's the main goal behind nutrient density. And that allows us to be sustainable because we're not saying like black and white, you can only eat these things. No, it's just everything in moderation, right? And then healthy behavior change is more so like mindset shifting into like, kind of what I was talking about. Like, you know, you have a party or Christmas rolls around. Instead of going, well, screw it, I'm done. We're just not focusing on anything. Like, I'm just eating 100 cookies, shoving my face full of everything. I'm gonna gain 10 pounds by the time this is over, and then I'll start on my healthy goals. No. We kind of drop back and go, okay, so we're going to the party. I definitely want grandma's mac and cheese, and I definitely want the famous chocolate pie. So I'm going to have a sliver of the pie, I'm going to have a serving of the mac and cheese, but I'm also going to load up on protein, and I'm going to load up on veggies to keep me full, so I'm not tempted to like overeat on these things, right? So little things like that is healthy behavior change. And there's so many to learn, but it's an overall mindset shift around health and not having that scarcity mindset, not having disordered thinking about things. And obviously they don't teach those things. Let's see. I talked about becoming a coach. I have my notes here. I have notes because I'll totally forget. But becoming a coach, we kind of went over that, you know, how misleading it is. But okay, we're getting into costs now. So they basically charge $400 to $500 a month. That's more than if you got like meal prepped healthy foods, because I think those are good. If you have the extra money to have like ready for you, just like meals, do it. For me, it's not cost effective right now because I'm trying to save money for a house and grocery shopping is just cheaper. But $400 to $500 a month you're paying for food, and most of them are 100-calorie snacks. What? Most of them are 100-calorie snacks, and you get one actual meal per day that must be under 20 carbs. Listen, I have PCOS and I can have a lot of like crappy carbs, so I try to monitor my carbs, but that's terrible. If you Google it, look it up, we need 120 grams of carbs for our brain to optimally function. What the fuck? Like, listen, I know, like, you're probably like, what? I need 120 grams. I've eaten less than that. Yeah, you probably have, but like, you probably didn't realize it, but your brain probably wasn't on top of things. Like, you probably were a little scattered brain. You might have felt a little foggy. You were distracted. Your focus wasn't there. It's one of those things that you don't notice it until you replenish and refuel your body, right? So 120 grams is minimum for optimum brain function. Keep that in mind. Unless you have some specific medical condition where you cannot eat a certain amount of carbs, there's no reason that you should be dipping below that, okay? Another thing, broccoli is listed as a high carb no-no. What? Okay, I'm sorry. What? Nobody got fat eating too much broccoli. Get out of here. Just like nobody got fat eating too much fruit. For those wacko doctors out there that are saying sugar and fruit is bad, like, stop. I will say, again, nothing's black and white, but if you're eating, like, you got to be careful when you're making, like, oh, I'm having a fruit smoothie bowl, and you, like, load it up with literally just fruit, and it's, like, 70 grams of fruit, and that's, like, all you're eating. That can kind of, like, throw your body off whack, but, again, everything in moderation. That's why with smoothies, I encourage throwing protein powders, sneak in vegetables like spinach, have one serving of fruit, throw in nut butters, a little bit of almond milk, you know? It's not just gonna be fruit. Okay. Broccoli, wow, I've never heard of that. What the fuck? Okay. And then average calorie consumption is about 800 to 1,000 calories per day. Now, wonder why they don't recommend working out. I think you'd fall over and pass out. And listen, I truly believe that these low-calorie diets are a contributing factor to long-term hormonal imbalance, chronic like health disorders, thyroid issues, stressors. Now, they may not be a main factor, but I think that extra stress on your body, you're making yourself nutrient deficient, it's just not good. So you're gonna see, I think that's why we see a lot more things like PCOS, thyroid issues, metabolism issues, hormonal imbalance, irregular periods. I think that's why we see it a lot more. And just stress in general. There's been so many outside stressors from just the average everyday American modern lifestyle that I also think contributes to this. But yeah, that sucks. So, okay, here's the thing. We're gonna wrap this up a little bit. This went a little bit shorter than I thought it would be. But if you have $400 to $500 a month to spend on this pre-packaged crap, then you have money to invest in a coach who actually cares. Industry standard for online coaching, like good online coaching, is anywhere from like $200 to $500 a month, and that should be the whole shebang, like fitness, workouts, nutrition, habit coaching. You get an app, you do weekly check-ins with a coach, and that is going to get you much farther and is a better investment than this pre-packaged crap. Okay, enough said. And yes, it's a longer, slow and steady route, but it's worth it. Nothing worth having comes easy, comes quick. There are no quick fixes. I am sorry. Eat the wonderful things that this earth has gave us. Nothing from a box is going to be your godsend. And just move your body. Learn stress management and healthy habits, and learn how to dial back in the high stress times, the busy times, but learn to stick to your foundational, basic, healthy habits to nourish your body when times get hard. These are the things I teach my clients. And again, I go against the grain. I'm not a quick fix. Like, could I make thousands of dollars selling, get fit quick schemes? Absolutely. Could I show my butt on Instagram and probably make money faster too? Absolutely. But I have a conscience. I have an empathetic person, and I want to do it the right way. And I want you to do it the right way. So I encourage you to follow your heart and do the right things. And I hope I'm steering you clear of Optavia. Just don't do it. Save your money. If anybody of you are maybe in Optavia right now or have had it before, I hope maybe I've shed some light. I know some people are probably going to say, you're full of crap, this worked for me, and whatever, that's fine. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying that it's not sustainable long term, and it's pretty high risk compared to like just eating the right things and moving your body. That's what I'm saying. And what's your plan? What is your plan when you're done with this program? What are you going to do? What if you go bankrupt, or you have unexpected medical bills, or you can't afford to do it right now, or the company just goes out of business? What are you going to do? I just hope you have a plan. All right, so we spilled some tea on Optavia today. Sorry if I hurt any feelings. But I hope it opened your brain and your mind. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. I post this and other fun things. You can follow me on, iTunes, Spotify. I'm really listed wherever you can listen to podcasts, but Spotify and iTunes are the big ones. So you can follow me there. Also, it really helps if you leave me a little review. 5-star review takes like 2 seconds. If you do a written review, screenshot it, send it to me. I will send you a nice little freebie for doing that. So yeah. Other than that, guys, though, we will conclude this podcast episode. Until next time, chat soon, stay healthy, continue sipping your tea, and bye for now.